What's up, guys? I'm gonna go ahead and skip through that. Welcome in. We're gonna do a quick little lesson rundown of the Trendspider platform. I've got a guy from Trendspider here that's gonna do a nice presentation for you guys, how to set up different things, go over some features, how to set up scans, stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and flip over to him in just a second, let everybody trickle on in. But appreciate you guys for showing up. Thanks to Trendspider for doing this. And David, you got the floor. Let's see. There we go. Not that one. Right there should work. Am I getting your video? I think you might be muted. Yeah, I didn't want you to double hear me, so I muted that for the intro, but I think we're good now. Yeah, sounds good. Sorry, David. I don't know if we have any sound. I'm trying to make sure the sound's going through. I'm not seeing it pop up here. Can you guys hear him on stream? Can you hear me and can you hear him? What up, Rhoda? Welcome in. Trying to make sure that, okay. Yeah, they can't hear you. I'm not sure why. I can hear you fine, but for some reason, that sound is not coming through. I got desktop audio on. I may have to add another source. Yeah, they can only hear me. Okay. Audio output capture. Okay, try that.
Ooh, can they hear me now?
They should
Hello,
be
hello.
able. They should be able to. I see the thing lighting up now, so I think they've got you. Can I confirm
Okay,
that you guys can hear him? All right, we're good.
perfect.
We're good. We're good. Sorry about
Awesome.
that. I had to add a new input, like you said.
Yeah, no worries at all. Happy to be here and would love to just start off by giving a thank you to Brad for allowing us to come in. Always love showing off the platform and what we're able to offer. If you guys aren't familiar with Trendspider, we're coming up on about 5 years old, but we are an all-in-one charting platform. So our main goal really is to try to get rid of all the different needs for subscriptions across the investing and trading universe, whether that be unusual options, seasonality, insider trading. We source all that info into one, along with all the technical analysis added into it. So being able to chart effectively, scan the market, backtest your strategies, really just trying to bring it all into one platform. So with that being said, happy to go ahead and share a little bit about what we're looking at here. Show you some tips and tricks and how to benefit your analysis, try to increase efficiency, be able to sort through tons of charts at once and be able to analyze that way. So with that, here's our main interface. You can see here, this is just a normal stock chart. similar to other platforms. The great thing about our platform too is everything you see is customizable, and that's all done through the chart settings. So I can change the background color, the candles, how you view the chart. But with that, I'm not going to get into this left sidebar here, but this is just going to be your drawing tools. So drawing anything from head and shoulders to double bottoms, you can do that all there. Looking at the top of the screen here, you can see this is most of what's going to be kind of hidden, but also very important to the platform. We have MTFA, which you see. I will get back into that in just a minute, but I will get into autofibs. And what autofibs are is it automatically draws pivot points on the on your chart. So this works on any time frame as well. If you're an intraday trader, we can go down to the 5 minute of SPY, for example, and you can see it'll automatically draw these points. You can see I also can select after hours if that's what you're interested in looking at, and you can see the autofibs update as well. The same thing applies to auto trends. So still looking at the 5 minute here, I can select trends, and you can see obviously a bunch of lines here, but I will create this so it's just filtered lines. I'm going to say the most relevant, and you can see here they're automatically plotted on your chart. The great thing about this too is if you're interested in saving it on your chart, you found a line that maybe you didn't see before, but you want to add to your chart, all you do is double click it and it'll automatically add. So when you turn off auto trends, it'll still be there. You can see this was actually a pretty key SPY trend line, which we ended up breaking right before close. So maybe something to watch heading into tomorrow. From here, we have our extensive indicator list, 188 to be exact at the moment. We are going to be adding custom indicators to the platform in the near future, so definitely keep an eye out for that. And we'll also later down the road add a marketplace and really try to develop it from there, so it'll be more of an open platform in the sense of creating your own indicators. So with that being said, I won't go into all the specific indicators. We have definitely tons of new ones, and a lot of them have some docs here that you can read about them and kind of see how they're used. From here, we have candlestick patterns. This is automatically just going to identify candle patterns that you're interested in. For example, here I have inside bars selected, so you can see all the different 5 minute inside bars. I will go to the daily just to skip over to MTFA. What MTFA is it's multi-time frame analysis. So if I click on MTFA there, you're going to have the option to add a different time frame. And it does look like my screen is lagging, so you might have to give me a moment here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So when I changed, or when I click on the MTFA, you're going to be able to compare the daily to the weekly time frame, or if you're on the 5 minute, you can compare it to, the 30 minute or however you'd like. So once the MTFA is up, you can see all these dotted lines. If I expand our indicator list, you can see what that kind of looks like. So for example, just to keep it simple, we have the 8 and 21 EMAs. So you can see those dotted lines there. Those are actually the weekly EMAs, even though I'm looking at the daily chart. Same thing applies to if you're looking at the 5 minute chart, you want to see the 15 minute EMAs rather than the 5 minute. You can still have those up on the screen. So it can be pretty neat, especially for day trading and not having to switch between different workspaces.
That's actually clutch.
It is very nice. And like I said, a lot of people like to look at 15 minute indicators, but they trade the 5 minute chart. So it's very beneficial in that aspect. So that is our MTFA. I will get into a couple other things here on the top of the toolbar. Heat map, this is one of my favorite features in the platform. This automatically draws support and resistance levels. We don't necessarily call them that, but we call them more levels of interest. Most of them are created through consolidation and where a lot of wicks come into play. And it does apply to any time frame as well. So if we go down a 5 minute, we might see some different levels than what we would see at the daily time frame. So here you can see we have one around 379 to 380 or so. And then we have one down here. Another great thing too is if you don't want to have the heat map open at all times, you can always just draw a zone that marks the same spot that you're seeing in the red zone there. So that is our heat map. One thing that we are coming out with that hasn't been, we're announcing tomorrow actually, so you guys get a quick sneak peek, is going to be our chart patterns. The great thing about our chart patterns is similar to our auto trends and auto fibs. This is going to automatically identify certain charts or chart patterns within the chart that you're looking at. So currently we have the triangles, so ascending, descending, symmetrical. You can also scan for those, which I'll get into a little bit later, but I'll go ahead and scan for one just so I can show you an example. So we're going to look just through the S&P, and we'll do vertex here. So here's the daily time frame. You can see this red line here. This is what the computer automatically identified as a ascending wedge in this, or ascending triangle in this example. And if I keep scrolling through this list, it's automatically finding these patterns. And this will work on, 5-minute time frame as well. So if you're looking for an ascending triangle in the morning, you can look at the 5-minute and you can create your own scan that way, which I'll get into a little bit later. But that is our chart patterns. We are going to be coming out with more. So head and shoulders is going to be one. I'm going to be looking at double tops and double bottoms in the near future. So pretty neat and definitely something to check out. From there, the last thing I'll get into on this top toolbar here on the chart is our other data. Tons of hidden features in here. I'll only go over a few, but just in the essence of time. But we do have anything from your earnings and dividends, which are pretty standard on your chart. Along with, we have Fred data, we have market breadth, mentions on Wall Street bets, which is pretty neat. We have retail trader activity percentage, which I'll show you an example on GameStop and AMC and kind of how that looks, combined with Wall Street bets. And we do have short volume and splits as well. So with that being said, I'll show you a couple examples of how this might be useful. If I go over to, we'll look at GameStop, you can see retail trader activity percentage and then mentions on Wall Street bets. Kind of just give you an example or kind of explain what retail trader activity percentage is. It is the amount of retail activity happening in one certain name. So the percentage of trading going through this name, GameStop, and for example here, how much of retail activity across the entire market is saturated into that one name. So if we go back to looking at GameStop back in the major rise it had in 2021, you can see at one point the retail trade activity percentage was 9.4%, meaning all the market activity or retail activity across the stock market, 9.4% of it was in GameStop on that day. So pretty neat to look at. Same thing with mentions on Wall Street bets. You can see how the Wall Street bets basically timed the top with the amount of mentions it had. Mm-hmm. So you can see here it had 19,000, 18,000 mentions on Wall Street bets, and of course that's when it ended up dying. I won't say it's because Wall Street bets. Obviously, there's some other fun things to look at with Robinhood and all that. Oh yeah. But won't get into that too much. I just recently watched the GameStop documentary, which was pretty neat. So yeah, this is all the information you can get in here. I mean, the same thing applies to AMC. If you're someone that likes to trade meme stocks or looking at those, it's pretty fun to use. So I'll get over, head over to our other things I wanted to mention here. So at the top right, we do have Market Scanner and Strategy Tester, but what probably catches your eye here is the sidebar, so I'll go over that quickly. What we have here is I have unusual options. This is going to show you anything with premium over $20,000. And it's all put onto this graph as well, which I can always full screen. So now you can see all the different options activity coming into AMC here. I can filter this down to look at the most recent activity or the most short dated expirations. So here we're going to look through September to December, and you can see these are all graphed. Maybe next, let's say you only want to look at premium over 180,000. Looks like there is none here, but you can filter it out that way and be able to kind of see exactly what trades are coming in and where. So that's our unusual options. It's also displayed in this list. We do have seasonality. This is going to show you how a stock performs during a certain period. So if I go to SPY, for example, we can look at the last 19 years of SPY here since 2003. The monthly, we can also go down to week of the year and day of the week and kind of see how that correlates. But for the purpose of this example, I'll just stick with the monthly. You can full screen this and see exactly how the asset performs during a certain period. So you can see 65% of all Octobers for S&P were positive over the last 19 years with a median change of 2.28%. So pretty decent seasonality, not the best, but you can see next month has the highest win rate along with April with a median change of 2%. So another one of those things where you'd have to usually go to a different platform to get, and you're going to get that all here. From here, we do have the ability to pull up your watch list. You can also pull up scans, so you can scan the market in the morning, which gets into my next point, which is scanning for stocks, especially in the morning. I know Brad has made trades on the 5-minute, and he likes to use some of those smaller time frames. So what I'm going to do is actually get into how to make a quick scan and how you can use it in the morning or whenever you'd like. So we're going to look for stocks under $10, for example. I'm just going to add parameter. We're going to say price on the 5-minute closed less than, we're going to just say constant value of $10. So the first condition here is the 5-minute price closed below 10. So it's going to filter out some of those heavier names. Next, we're going to look at relative volume. So when you're scanning the market in the morning, you want to see more volume in a name that you might be interested in looking at. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to add condition. We're going to do indicator, and then we're going to do the 5 minutes. And we do have an indicator called relative volume. That's going to just pop up and show you how much it's trading or how much volume is coming in relative to its average. So relative volume, we're going to say greater than. Constant value, we'll say 1.5. One's about the average. And then lastly, maybe you want to see anything with over 250,000 in volume on average on the daily time frame. So we'll just say indicator daily. We'll do volume of the SMA is greater than constant value $250,000 or 250,000 volume. So now what we have is price is less than $10. It's also trading on heavy relative volume, and it also has 250,000 shares traded each day on average. So in the morning, if you select current candle, you can change the list you want to look through. So maybe you want to trade S&P 500 or Russell 2000. You can go ahead and scan through there, and it's going to pop up all the different results. And now you see comes up with, there's over 100 here. Last 5 minutes, obviously relative volume is pretty high, so that's scanning for the last 5 minutes of the day. But like I said, this does work in the morning, and it's a great way to filter out and see where momentum's coming in. So once you have it, it'll automatically pull up. You can pull it up on your sidebar as well. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. It's going to be called Laser Guided Opportunity. So once I pulled up into the sidebar, this is where you're going to save a bunch of your time doing your pre-market analysis and your post-market and even during the market. I'm going to filter by change percent. So these are the ones that were doing the best in the last 5 minutes at least. We'll select, go to the 5-minute time frame, and you can see the volume spike at the end of the day. Like I said, this will be more useful in the morning and in the mid-afternoon when you're looking for volume coming in. And then, yeah, you'll be able to see it and just quickly click up and down on your keyboard and be able to filter through all these different names. Lastly, you can also share these scanners if you're interested in sharing with a friend. They'll be able to download it and then just check it out as well. So that's our market scanner. I will just briefly go over our strategy tester just because it's one of my favorite features that we have. This will allow you to backtest any strategy. I'll just do the most simple in the essence of time here. Let's just say, I know the 8 EMA is pretty popular, so we'll say price close is greater than We'll say indicator and then 8 EMA. And this is on the 5-minute time frame. That's my entry condition. For the exit, I'm just going to say price is less than it. So just using the EMA for an example here as to how to backtest. But obviously this can get as deep as possible, or have however many settings you'd like to add to it. So price closed less than 8 EMA. So now we're going to change this. We're going to backtest the last 7,000 candles and just see how this worked. Obviously, we'll do a more liquid name like SPY just as an example. So if you're buying SPY over the 8 EMA on the 5-minute time frame over the last 4 months, you would actually be down 1.8%, while the asset is up 2.7%. So obviously not the best strategy to use for looking at SPY. But it's a great way to backtest your strategies and see if what you're doing actually works in the past over the last 7,000 candles, and you can do any time frame as well. So pretty sweet. Last thing to mention too about the strategy tester is if you do find one that you do like, you can actually create a trading bot with it. You can see at the top right here, I have launch as trading bot. One caveat is it is 15-minute time frame and above. So I wouldn't be able to run a trading bot on this 5-minute, but it'll automatically send orders to your brokerage and it'll place the trades for you, and it'll be able to automatically run. So pretty neat. I have one running on SPY, which enters a couple trades a day, and I'll be going out to get lunch or whatever, and I'll get the notification that I just bought a trade or bought some shares of SPY. So pretty neat to use, and definitely check it out if you have an opportunity. But yeah, that's about it for the strategy tester. I don't think there's too many other things I wanted to go over here other than lastly our insider data, which I forgot to mention on the sidebar. But it's always fun to look at and pretty neat to use. So I'll look at Tesla here just as an example. Say you're someone that wants to see what Elon is doing within the company. You can see down here, his name pops up. He sold 2.3 billion, 1.3 billion. And I can actually just click his name to see all the transactions he's made. So you can see he's been unloading Tesla for a good while. And something to take into note, if you're a more long-term investor, maybe you want to be buying when Elon is or not, or maybe you want to be the contrarian and buy Elon's shares that he's selling. So yeah, that's really about kind of the basics of what I wanted to show off in the platform. Happy to answer any questions. And lastly, also mention that there is a 40% discount if you click on Brad's Trendspider affiliate link, which I will send over, and you'll be able to get that 40% and try it out with this free 7-day trial. So happy to answer any questions and appreciate you having me, Brad.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. That was a very good presentation. Is it the same link that I always have for the landing page?
It is. Yep.
Okay, let me double check that because I can just share
I
that
can
in
send
chat.
that in the chat as
Okay,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you send that in the chat, I'll just I'll pin that message.
Yep.
One thing
Absolutely.
that I would like you to go over before anybody has any questions, if anybody has any questions, is the raindrop charts, just to kind of show them a little bit on
Yeah.
that, because I think those are so cool, and I've looked into them a little bit, but even I don't fully understand the raindrop, and I think that's something that is really cool to show off.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I actually wish I wish I had shown that earlier. So I appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah, no problem.
What raindrops are, it's proprietary to the Trendspider platform. It's a different way of looking at candlesticks. Basically, it's a different view of them and kind of how they work. So if I pull up raindrops here, you can see what pops up. It kind of looks like more, artsy, I guess, rather than normal candle. But if I zoom in, I'll be able to kind of show you in detail what exactly they are showing. On the left side, we have the first half of the trading interval. So for example, here I have the daily time frame. So this would be like the first 4 hours and 15 minutes or whatever it may be. And it's actually the volume by price during that period. So it's going to show you the range of where volume's coming in during the first half of the day and where it's coming in the right half of the day. And then the two lines represent the VWAPs during that period. We do have blue raindrops, which are pretty neat to look at. It means A VWAPs are the exact same, or the VWAP is the same for the first half of the candle as it is the second half, which represents indecision, and it can come at some pretty key points in any chart. You can see here in Tesla, we had some 3 blue raindrops here within just a couple weeks, and then obviously we ended up going on another run to the upside. Same thing applies. We had a raindrop before this big fall and back in April. Some more raindrops near the bottom. So pretty interesting to use, and you can see tons of examples. The best part about these blue raindrops too is that you can scan for them with pre-made scans within the platform. So if I search out blue raindrop, you can see I'll just select the most recent, and this is going to show all the ones that have had recent blue raindrops come through the chart. You can see this one had one today actually. And go through this list. So pretty neat to use, and definitely a different look at kind of how volume works rather than just looking at a standard candle.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's more complex definitely than just a regular candle because you get the VWAP like integration, not only the full day, but you get it on each half.
Right. Yeah, no, it's great. And kind of like you said, it's getting you a different picture and it's showing you what volume's really doing. So it's definitely one of my favorite tools that we've come out with, and I'm glad it's proprietary to our platform. So our customers are able to get a different look than what you might find elsewhere.
And you can pull up like I think the 15-minute on those as well, right?
You can, yep.
Yeah,
So if
or like
I
as
go
low as the
down,
15.
right. So here's the 15. You can, same thing applies. I love looking for blue raindrops because, like I said, it's usually a good indecision point. Price doesn't know what it's doing. So you can use that on any of these examples. The more liquid, obviously, the better, just because there's more volume coming in. So here's an example on SPY for the 15-minute. Blue raindrop here at the exact top this morning. And then before that little drawdown, and then we went up to test it again. One thing to note too, that I've used it in the past, is sometimes you'll find these come at important support and resistance zones. So maybe if we draw a zone around this area, you can see exactly kind of where price was indecisive in the past. You can see we ended up getting above it, maybe retesting it. Just another perspective of kind of how to look at these.
It's like a super doji instead of just a regular indecision candle.
Exactly. Yeah, it's with VWAPs being the same on both sides, it's pretty impressive that price was able to kind of be so standard within a certain interval of time. So definitely pretty cool.
Yeah, especially on something as high volume as SPY for all day long, the VWAP to stay continuous.
Right, exactly. Especially in the early morning when it's 9:45, and that's when all the volume's coming in.
It was trading like a penny
Cool.
stock this morning. It was going nuts.
Yeah, it's been some pretty wild action. I know, I think the VIX today was down a good bit from what it was. Oops, not popping up for me, but yeah, it's definitely been some interesting trading and a lot of things going on with bonds and interest rates and all the different headlines we see out there. So
Yeah.
wishing the best for it though. Hopefully the long-term investments start to come back soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's a buy zone regardless, of where we end up bottoming, but I kind of hope that we bottom sooner than later. Or maybe we already have, I don't know. Anybody have any questions? And you have that link, right, that you're going to post so I can...
yeah, sorry, it wasn't allowing me to send it in the chat for some reason. Let me send it through Zoom here.
Okay, and then I'll just copy it.
Okay. Go. Chat. There's that.
Okay.
Yeah, so just as a reminder, that is 40% off for up to 12 months. And that's going to come with a free 7-day trial. One thing I always do like to mention too is if you're signing up, obviously this can be a little intimidating, trying to get acclimated to a different charting platform than what you're used to. We do have a support team that is willing to do free one-on-one demos. So definitely shoot them a message. There's a little chat button on our site, and they'll be happy to set up a one-on-one demo with you and kind of go over tips and tricks of the platforms, help you build a scan or anything like that. and really just try to help you get acclimated. So whatever we can do to support you and all our customers, happy to help however possible.
Get this up and get it pinned. There we go.
Perfect.
Anybody have any questions? Yeah, we have one question by Broda. Do you see the question there?
Yep. Do we have market profile? Or do you know, are they referring to volume by price maybe, or volume profile?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let me pull that up here. Um, volume by
Yeah, I think it is
price.
called volume
Actually,
by price on there.
yeah, we do have a different name for it. So yeah, we do have it. You can always change the amount of columns. So I like to do 50. You can anchor it from highest volume if you want to anchor it to a blue raindrop, a recent gap. But what I'll do here is just we'll do year to date VWAP, and you can always show the point of control. I won't do that for this example. You can show the VWAP, but once you apply it, it'll be on the chart there. You'll be able to kind of adjust it and kind of see what you're looking at. You can always manually just change it. So if you want to look at the most recent, we'll look at June low. That's the volume by price during that period. So yep, we do have it. I'm not sure about time profile necessarily, but that is our volume by price.
Yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Yeah, that looks similar to like the charts that you show. I don't know if it's a little bit more detailed, Broda, like a time profile.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I've heard of time profile, so I might have to look into that. Do we plan to, not that I'm aware of, but happy to do some research into it and bring it up to the team to see if we can bring it into the platform. Sounds pretty interesting. I imagine it's something similar to volume by price. So yeah, I'll definitely look into it and send that feedback to our team.
Okay, yeah, I've seen. It looks similar to that, I think, but I've definitely
Okay,
seen. I think it's just kind of broken up a little bit different.
gotcha. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I'll have to. I just made a note of that to be able to check out later.
Very futures related. Okay, gotcha.
Let's see.
Yeah,
One other
especially
thing I
with the.
did.
I'm
Oh,
sorry. Go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say one other thing I forgot to mention too, which could be interesting to some of your users, which we do have futures, real-time futures in the platform. And that's, I'll show you a quick example on, we're looking at ES1. So we do have E-minis, NQ, all the popular ones. And I think we have up to 5,000 tickers. So just kind of wanted to mention that in case any of your, your audiences likes to trade the futures.
Yeah, we've actually got several that trade futures or at least watch futures, so that could be something they could use as well. I think.
Yeah, for sure. And the 40% actually applies to futures data as well. So typically it is $7.50 a month, but you'll get the 40% on top of that if you sign up using the link that Brad had sent in the chat a little bit ago. So yeah, definitely give it a shot. And like I said, it's free to 7-day trial, so completely risk-free. Definitely just fun to use.
Can you place trades on futures through Trendspider?
Not currently. I think that's something that's in the roadmap, but currently you can't. What we're doing right now is shares just on common equities. But I do think that is in the roadmap for a little bit down the road.
Okay, all right, very cool.
Yep.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions for David while he's here? How long will that sale be active, just in case like they wanted to buy tomorrow and not today?
Yeah. I'm going to have it active through tomorrow evening.
Okay.
So anytime, till midnight tomorrow, they can claim that.
Okay, I'm gonna tweet that out as well, that link, and put it in the Discord
Okay.
just in case people missed, and
Right.
I'll link the VOD too so they can watch the whole video just in case they might have been eating dinner or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
All right, well, thank you guys for stopping by. Thanks David once again for doing the presentation on Trendspider. I actually learned something today as well. Very cool. Very cool platform. Very cool features. Really appreciate you doing this for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you having me, and hopefully I can continue to work with your group. And happy to answer any questions and you know, be as active as possible. So appreciate you having me.
Sounds good. All right, guys. I will see you all back here 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your evening, and see you then.